The story continues like any other day for Asahi, who's getting chased by a monster through the woods, and this time it's a goblin. He jumps off a cliff into a clearing. He's followed by the creature, but he uses his rock-throwing skill to land a direct hit on his pursuer. His celebrations are short-lived when it's revealed that it only did 2 points of damage to the goblin, which manifests as a single lump on its head. After an awkward stare down, he turns to run again, but the goblin orders his subordinates who were in the bushes to attack. They exist. Maya emerges as usual and lands the bushes to attack. They exist. Maya emerges as usual and lands a devastating fire attack that wipes out the monsters. Although he's relieved that she came to help, he's a little disappointed in himself that she had to step in again. She points out that his one-on-one fight turned into a group attack, so she had to even the odds. She showers him with love. While she cleans the dirt that covers him, they head back to the city where Asahi checks his stats. He has finally reached level 10, and Maya is equally as excited for him. He acknowledges that he's still a beginner, but it is a milestone that shows that he's making progress. Maya concludes that very little of the XP from the many monsters that she beat went to him, despite her giving him the chance to land the final blow. He speculates that the XP gains is based on the amount of damage he inflicts. Maya watches on as he comes up with more theories, mumbling to himself. He finally boils it down to having to work hard to improve his skills so that he can fight on his own. Maya has an idea of an effective way he can achieve this. She suggests that she will capture a monster and pin it down, allowing her younger brother to attack it till he defeats it. Asahi is against that idea because he can't continually hack at an enemy that can't defend itself. Maya suggests that he attacks her to increase his XP since she is high level, but he can't in his right mind attack his sister. This makes her happy that her little brother cares about her so much. She points out there isn't any need for him to get stronger since she ends all her battles in one strike. This comment hit Asahi like an arrow. She bluntly tells him that it wouldn't end well if he's faced with real danger. Because he's so weak, he decides to forego specialized training for when he levels up a bit more. He also expresses his desire to learn a new skill as his sister smothers him with affection again. He uses his newly acquired escape skill to slip away. He reveals that as long as he has it, he can escape from his sister's annoying overbearingness. To counter, she increases her power and jumps for him, and he tries to activate his skill again. But he's out of mana, so she captures him and begins to disturb him. Amahi finally manages to break free from her and makes his way to the guild hall with his weakness problems still in mind. He contemplates forming a party with some other people, and he makes his way to the recruitment board. But they all have high barriers to entry. Most of them are also looking for personnel so that they can carry out some shady job. Because he has been moving with his sister, he had forgotten about this aspect. As joining a party is one of the joys of being in a reincarnation story, he fantasizes about how party members come together to defeat boss-level enemies, the sense of adventure, exploring different places while eating, sleeping side by side, making memories, and maybe romance between some of the party members to bring a happy ending to their journey. He's brought back to his current reality when Nanya, the receptionist, asks if he's looking for party members. She tells him that the people available around this time of year are the rejects. He informs her that he's been working with his older sister so far. When she asks, Tanya assumes that Maya plays the support role in the party. But Asahi knows what the real arrangement is. The guild receptionist advises that the famous parties are well balanced and uses the bombing parties, led by Siegfried as an example. They have Gordon the tank with impregnable defense, Mimosa sorceress, that excels in all forms of magic, Julian an archer who specializes in long-range attacks, and finally Siegfried engages in close-quarter combat. This is an ideal party composition. Asahi agrees with that breakdown and wonders what Siegfried is up to these days. The last time he heard about them, they headed out to defeat the Demon King. In a hushed tone, Tanya reveals that while on their journey, they were wiped out by a mysterious enemy, so they fled and came back. She can only wonder what kind of fearsome enemy could be capable of taking out the top-ranked party. The receptionist warns him to be careful, since he too has built up the epithet Hope of Hope with his false achievements based on the information he's received. Asahi decides to consider those things before joining a party. As he leaves the guild hall, he spots a trio picking on an inebriated guy who barged into them. They demand compensation so that they can fix their injuries when they realize that he doesn't have money the trio take it upon themselves to make him pay with his life. Asahi interrupts by using his rock-throwing skill, but he didn't think of the consequences as the trio now dashed toward him. But he has his escape skill, which he plans to use, but before they get to him, the inebriated guy knocks them out in spectacular fashion. He pukes after performing the sudden movement. Asahi rushes over to make sure that the guy is all right. Upon closer inspection, he recognizes the disheveled man as the famous Siegfried. Asahi pulls him to the side and offers him water. He's curious to know why Siegfried, a dragon-class adventurer, is in such a state. Siegfried feels like he's undeserving of his dragon hunter title, and now calls himself the loyal dog. Pochi, his failed attempt at defeating the Demon King, is what has put him in his current state. Siegfried even permits him to laugh because they were defeated by a single demon. No matter what attacks they used, they got batted away like a baby's fist. The frightening thing was that the demon hadn't even begun to fight seriously. Asahi comments that he never knew such a fearsome foe existed. Little does he know that it was Kill Maria that did this damage. The hero has lost all confidence in himself, and all he can do is wallow in self-pity. Asahi tries to console him by pointing out some of the irreplaceable things he has gained, like his friends and all the memories. He even reveals that Tanya was just telling him how Balmung is the ideal party. Siegfried immediately shuts the narrative down, revealing the reality of the situation. Mimoso is a party animal who spends all of the clan's money on having a good time. Shulon is over 150 years old and acts like it, as she always talks down to him while giving him lectures. As for Gordon, he's too shy to even hold a conversation. The hero just realized that he has never seen the guy's face. The point that he's trying to make is that he shouldn't idealize being at a party since they failed to defeat the Demon King. Balmung disbanded. He is relieved because he can do his own thing. Asahi tries to save his dreams by asking if the party at least relied on each other while on their adventure. Siegfried stops his painful laughter and lets out a genuine smile as he confirms that they did on that note. Asahi tells him of his departure. As Siegfried thanks him for the help, Asahi heads back to the guild hall to sign up for one of the parties when Tanya rushes over to him with an emergency quest. A horde of wyverns is attacking a settlement outside of town. He's the only high-rank adventurer around and has experience with defeating them. He agrees to take the job, but he is rushed to the site before he can call Maya to help him. He is forced to face the danger alone and begins to scream, frozen in fear, as the monster swoops down to attack him. He is saved when a sudden wide-area attack incinerates the wyverns, accompanied by a laugh from Kill Maria, the demon general. Tease Asahi for being surrounded by calamity. As usual, he addresses her by her first name, which she's not a fan of, and prefers he calls her Big Sister. Asahi informs her that when he called her that it was a one-time mistake, and he thanks her for saving him again. He assumes that she was testing her strength on the wyverns, but that is not the case, as she came to return his overclass adventurer badge. He remembers that he dropped it during their first meeting, and their interaction is stopped by another horde of wyverns that appear out of nowhere as Kill Maria prepares to deal with him. Maya comes out of nowhere and finishes them with a lightning attack. They are both happy to see her, and for different reasons, Kill Maria immediately requests a rematch. But Maya doesn't even acknowledge her as she walks past the Big Sister, makes her way to Asahi to make sure that he's okay. Kill Maria recovers from the emotional damage as the siblings discuss with her younger brother. Fine Maya grabs him by the neck, suggesting that they head right home. Kill Maria shouts for them to hold it. Maya finally acknowledges her, and it leads to them fighting about how inappropriately dressed they both are. Kill Maria challenges her again, but Maya doesn't see the point, so the demon gives her a reason by taking Asahi hostage, but there is no real malice behind it. This is further proven when Maya attacks her with a comical knock to the head, which leaves her with a big lump. The two start to have a cat fight, which is Asahi watches confused, but in a commotion, while Wyvern swoops in and apprehends him. The two immediately dash up, and Maya takes it down with a powerful lightning attack. This forces the monster to drop him. As he free falls screaming, Kill Maria is there to grab him, and they land back down softly. Maya reveals that she only attacked without hesitation because she knew that Kill Maria was around to grab her brother. The demon is surprised that a human would trust her like that. As they interact, Asahi comments on how, like both of them, are the siblings try to leave again, and the general tries to kidnap him, but he uses his escape skill to get away from her. Kill Maria is shocked that he has a teleportation skill and wonders where he learned it from. She starts to feel like she didn't need to save him earlier. Ashai quickly corrects her and explains that he can only use it when he is focused, and he can only use it when he is focused, and he can only use it once because of his low mana, he assured her that he didn't need saving earlier, and thanks her again, the siblings' interactions causes Kilmaria some amusement, and as she comments on how fascinating they are, she also feels like Asahi is more than just weak. The demon decides to call it a day and leaves while the siblings head home. That brings the episode to an end.